Time now for Options Insight. I'm Luke Kawa, and joining me from the CBOE in Chicago is Scott Bauer of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, thanks for joining. Is what we're seeing today, you think, this kind of washout we're getting around, kind of evergreen U.S.-China trade heads? Is this just kind of, a pullback from the high, a little taking off of the greed that was in the system? Or do you see this as the start of a more material post-Fed pullback like we've had in the past couple?
No, I don't think this is anything to be that concerned about. However, the market is vulnerable here, Luke. We saw a nice rally yesterday off the heels of the Fed announcement, dovish kind of outcome here. But yet as soon as the U.S.-China tariff talks rear its ugly head again, we see this bit of a sell-off. So I do think we're a little bit vulnerable. I think it's, the market right now, it's not as bad as maybe stepping on a banana peel and that sort of slippery. But I think you do need to be worried maybe about a little bit further move to the downside. However, fundamentals are still pretty good, even though we're starting to see some cracks economically on the manufacturing business side. If we do get a 2-3% pullback, I would absolutely buy into that big time.
And let's talk about a stock in particular where you like the fundamentals. Let's get to your trade. It's a smaller member of the Philadelphia Semiconductors, but it is very important to the biggest company in the world. Tell us about it.
Sure. Yeah, it sure is. We're talking about QRVO, QRVO. And they make RH and Wi-Fi compatibility for the largest phones, Apple, Samsung. And, typically as Apple goes, QRVO goes. So I really like this stock to break out to its all-time highs. So what I'm doing is I'm buying the November 15th. There's no weekly option, so it goes out about 2 weeks. 82.5, 87.5 call spread. That trades for about $1.10 right now. Great upside, great reward to risk, limited risk. So if the stock does go down, I'm totally limited in my investment here, and I think on the heels of the good report out of Apple and Samsung, this stock really has a chance to take it to the upside.
To be remiss not to note that we also do have that company reporting after the close today, so we'll get some more insight on this real soon. One thing I was looking at, Scott, this trade, obviously, call spread trade. Right now, one thing we've seen lately as approached and taken over all-time highs in U.S. equities is index level option. That call wing is looking really bid. Does this kind of play out in single options the same way? Are you seeing more attractive call spread opportunities to really kind of take advantage of this ability to cheapen the trade more than usual?
I really love trading a spread, Luke, because it defines my risk. It limits my risk. Sure, it does limit some upside potential as well, but I'd rather go into a trade knowing what my maximum loss is. And that's what, a spread does. And this spread right here, $5 wide. So again, it'll limit my upside if this thing really flies. But if I'm wrong and it goes down, I know exactly what my risk is.
Perfect. And Scott, can you fill us in a little from your view on the floor there? Are you saying more, even in days like these, are you seeing the greed trade more or the fear trade dominate more? Are people trying to chase the next 10% upside or worried about protecting into year end?
Have not seen the chase yet. I do expect that if we break out really above 30, 50-ish in the S&P on some really sustainable volume, and we've seen really low volume on this rally up, that's when you're going to start seeing people jump into this market. So I haven't seen that yet.
And thank you, Scott Bauer of Prosper Trading Academy, for joining us. This